Hey everyone, Tox here from Crits Happen. Thanks so much for watching. Welcome back. I have not been able to do a video in a very long time, but I have recently found a game that I am just compelled to share with you. So I wanted to do a short video on it and share a little bit of information about it. So as most of you know who watch or listen or follow Crits Happen, I am a big fan of Hearthstone. I really enjoy the game. It is at times very random, and I've even complained about that, but it is a very fun game. And it is one that I go into with both a casual and sometimes competitive feel to it. I'm definitely by no means Brian Kibler level of competitive, but I also just prefer to play games more casually, I guess is the way to say it. Star Crusade has been out for a little while. This is on Steam right now on a PC. You're going to be seeing this run on an Alienware 17. And I recently discovered it because of the release of iOS and Android versions of it. And at first I looked at it and I said, wow, this is just simply a Hearthstone clone. And I am so happy that I gave it a chance, because had I just pushed it away to the side with that feeling or with that statement, I would have missed out on something that I think is actually very fun. And it does feel a lot like Hearthstone. A lot of the things you're going to see are going to be very familiar from a Hearthstone perspective. But I think that the package that Star Crusade wraps itself in is slightly different and different enough to give you a different experience. And that's a big thing for me. Experience is everything with games. So let's kind of dig in and I'll show you a little bit about this here. So essentially what we're looking at here is the main area provides us a way to play. If we click on play, we have an option of playing casual, ranked, and practice, and we can pick all the different decks that we have. The base, beginning of the game, you have all these base decks. So you have the base Consortium, which is Executive Sonbara. That's the hero that you have, and like many other games, you have a life total. You have to deplete your opponent's health to 0, and so on and so forth. The base Terran is Admiral Anna Borodina. Then Hajir Gog is Warlord Keldar Tyr. He's very cool. They've got some really interesting things in there. I haven't put a lot of play into him because I don't have a lot of good cards that really work for his stuff yet, but he seems to be really interesting. Seer Rhea Felice, which is the Anunnaki clan, is very interesting as well. We'll talk a little bit about her hopefully in a little bit. Shanti uses kind of a mutation to change the characters that she has in play. Really cool artwork, as you can see, just really good. So this is Genetrix Dar Jaharis is her name. And then you have the Hierarchy, which is a cyborg clan, which is all about healing, which is Telmakus the Fallen. And you can start with any of these decks, and you'll notice this has, the base Hierarchy deck has 35 cards in it. The Shanti has 32 cards in it. The Anunnaki has 28. This is one of the more interesting things I really feel that Star Crusade does really cool. You're allowed to build a deck anywhere between 25 and 40 cards, and the number of cards in your deck determines your health during the game. So if I play with this base Anunnaki deck, I have 28 cards and I will begin the game with 28 life. You could build an Anunnaki deck that has 35 cards and gives you 35 life. So already we're very different from the very beginning, and I think that's really unique. And a 15-point spread can be very big. A 25 card deck versus a 40 card deck, the 25 card deck is going to do what it needs to do, very streamlined, hopefully, and very quickly, but the other opponent is going to have 40 life. So will it do it well enough to make up that 15-point gap? And it's very interesting. Casual and ranked are both against people online, and then practices against the AI. So those are your different options. Very much like Hearthstone, you're going to start at a certain level. You start at, I believe, 30 on this, and then you work your way down. So I've gone from 30 to 20 with the Hierarchy, so I've done very well. I've enjoyed playing that probably the most. So let's take a look here. So you can buy cards in the store. You buy 1 pack, 5, 10, 20, and 50. You can buy one single pack with 100 credit. So let's go ahead and buy a pack. I have 100 credits. You get credits as you play games. The nice thing about this is every win gives you 5 credits. You don't have to rack up a series of wins to get anything like that. There are packs that you can buy as well. There's captain packs, there's a conqueror pack, there's an emperor pack, and things like that. Those get bought through Steam directly, actually, not as part of this setup. There are card backs, avatar skins, commanders, but we haven't unlocked any of those yet. So let's just start with the basic pack here. We'll buy one basic pack. So purchase is successful. We will exit out of this and we will get our cards that we want to open and check out and see how cool they are. So we'll click open. Let's see what we got here. We get a Broodmother, which is an aberration. She's part of the Shanti group. Now you'll see there's conscript here. If I hover over this, you'll see in the lower right corner, these are the different levels of rarity for a card. So it goes from regular to conscript to elite to heroic to paragon. I have yet to get a paragon. They're really amazing. When you look at a card, you have a couple of things that you'll notice. In the upper left is the supply cost. Every turn you get a supply. You start the game with 1 and you'll go up to 10. You have an attack value of 2 in the lower left and a defense value of 4 in the lower right. Once your health or your defense has gone down to 0, then you are dead and it goes away. Now you remember earlier I said the Shanti uses a mutation. You'll see that this is mutate, deploy 1/1 Sapperling with spawn Sapperling. There's a Freudian slip. Deploy 1/1 Spawnling with screen. Screen is a keyword. It's very much like taunt. You must attack something with screen before you attack anything else that doesn't have screen. One nice thing that's really kind of cool is because this top part is what you see once it's in play, it has this little kind of symbol over here on the left, which matches up to the aberration. So you can know at quick glance how many of a certain type of character you already have in play. So she's good. She's a good start. Conscript is basic card, so it's okay. So let's see what else we get here. Planetary Defense System costs 4 supply, has a 3/5 rating, and at the beginning of your turn, deal damage equal to firepower to a random enemy. Firepower is a kind of a secondary resource that you can build up throughout the game. There are cards that will trigger off your firepower, and it's really, really cool. It's a neutral type thing, so anyone can use firepower, but it is something that I think is a little more towards the Terran clan than anything else. Next up, we have Teleport from the Hierarchy. Put 2 random cyborg units from your deck into your hand. These units gain +1 health. Very, very cool. This is a tactic, so it's a one-time use. You pay the 3 supply, and it goes away and does what it does. Next up, we have the Avalanche Bombard. This is a massive unit, as well it should be. It costs 8 supply. It's a 6/6, and when it activates, which means when it's played from your hand, very much like Battle Cry from Hearthstone, you're going to deploy a 3/3 Technician, which will be an additional 3/3 character. Next up is an elite. That's great. Conduit Warden. I haven't seen this one before. This is a 4-cost supply. It has 3 and 5, and it says activate. If you have less energy than your opponent, restore 5 health to target character. That's super cool. And you may say, Scott, Tox, that's amazing. What is energy? Let me tell you in a second. The last one is not a Paragon, but it's another elite. That's great. 2 elites in 1 pack. Conveyor, I have not seen this one either yet. So this is a 2-cost tactic. It's a cipher, which is kind of like a secret. It's going to go face down and play, and it'll be triggered when something happens. It says that the opponent destroys your unit, draw 2 units of the same type from your deck. That's great, especially if you're going to specialize in something. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and claim those. So energy. What was that energy thing that we were talking about? Energy is really cool. Let's go back here, and we're going to show, I'm going to open up one of my decks. I'm going to show you a little bit of some interesting things about this. So these little numbers just tell me how many new cards I have in each of the classifications. I can look at neutral, I can look at Anunnaki, I can look at Consortium. Each of those, are there, and I can look at every single thing I want. Let's go ahead and edit our H-Tank deck. So when I click edit, the first thing I see is this window in the upper left. There are 3 modules, which I'll explain in a second, and they're super important and super cool. It shows I have 30 out of 40 cards, so I can save the deck. Again, you can put anywhere between 25 and 40 cards in your deck. It shows me I have 9 tactics in my deck, so of the 30, 9 of them are tactics. And it shows me I have 21 units. And this is really cool because it can show me immediately how many of each type of unit I have in my deck. So if I was trying to push more towards the cyborg, I could say, I haven't really put enough cyborg in here. I may need to tweak some things. Really like that. I think it's really, really cool. That's something that you don't get really with other games. I'm really, really happy about that. So you see some of the cards that are out here, right? Like if I click on the hierarchy, I can see my cards, and like always in most of these games, you're going to have 2 of each in a deck at most. I think it's great though that the real thing that kind of like separates this deck building are the modules. So you'll notice that there's 3 spaces. One of mine is empty. There's a reason for that. I'll tell you in a second. Modules, if I click on the modules in the upper right here, These will cost supply sometimes. They will be automatic, which is what this little purple hexagon is, which means it's always looking for something to happen. In this case, the defensive revision says that all friendly units have +1 health, but -1 attack. So if I bring out a 1-2, it's a 0-3, which is very interesting. The modules, though, allow you to completely customize your hero. And this is the really amazing thing. So while you could make a hierarchy deck that has 40 cards, and I can make a hierarchy deck that has 25, and we're already starting where you have 40 life and I have 25 life, you can build your modules around a specific play style to combine with your deck or combo off your deck that is completely different from mine. So like we talked about before, where the hierarchy are possibly focused around healing, you don't have to have a healing power. You don't have to have that as your main hero power, and you don't even have to have just one. You could have 3, and I think that's amazing. Energy, which is this black circle up here, this 8, that is something you're going to earn over time playing the game, in each game. So you'll start with 0, and you'll do different things. One of the unique things is if you choose to leave one of your modules empty, like I have one of mine empty, you are going to automatically gain 1 energy at the end of every turn. So what I've done is I've tweaked mine. I have this one, which is the nanite conversion, which restores 2 health to a target character. It costs me 2 supply, but I can do that and spend 2 supply and heal anybody for 2. I have a couple of cards in my deck that are going to combo off of healing. And then I have this, which is the compression algorithm, which says return target enemy to its owner's hand. It costs 1 supply. It is a great way, comboed with being able to leave this empty and get 1 energy every turn, that basically every 4 turns, as long as I'm attacking and doing things and gaining more energy in my own actions, every 4 or 5 turns I'm going to be able to pop someone back into my opponent's hand, and that can be really, really valuable. Now, a lot of this has felt like Hearthstone, but this is really where it separates itself. These modules are really customizable, and you get these modules in packs just like you do regular cards. There's things that will allow you to equip weapons, there's things that will allow you to protect your creatures, to discount cards you buy in the future, increase power during opponents' turns. There's a lot of different customization in that. I really, really like it. You know, let's just take these first 3 for example. If I have this where I can heal and I can pop somebody back into their hands, it's really, really interesting because these are completely different. This one right here, active defense. Target friendly unit gains +2 attack during opponent's next turn. That's great. I can make sure anyone with screen gets covered for today. And then Arsenal is equip a 1/1 blaster, which is also really, really cool. The blaster is a weapon that you can basically use to attack with your hero. And then Carbon Plate says target unit gains Soak 1, which basically prevents 1 damage when somebody attacks them during the opponent's next turn. So you could see that if I went against someone who had the exact same deck as me, but had these 3 modules, the game is going to play extremely differently. And I love that. I really like that level of combo and customization that's involved with it. So the modules are highly flexible. You can drag and drop your cards in and out. So for example, if I go down here to the hierarchy and I choose cards, if I decide that I want, let's say, mass transfer taken out, I can click 1 and it goes back out, and it shows I only have 1 here. If I click on it again over here, it tells me I've locked it and I've got 2 and they're over here. This gives me my breakdown of how much supply my cards cost, and then I can search for specific cards. So if I just want to look for anything that's 7 or more, I can do that. If I want to look for something that is a cyborg only, I can do that. So I can find my cyborgs really easily, and it gives you a lot of customization. This guy's actually one of my favorite cards, the Overseer. Restore itself to maximum health at the end of your turn. You combo that off of things that will let you draw cards when a character is restored. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, so let's play a game. Let's show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna play a. I'm just gonna play against practice against the AI. I'm not gonna play against another player because sometimes people can just start going away on the emoticons and it can get kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and play randomly against an AI and we'll show you how it works. So I'm gonna go first. I like having the mining complex. Impact means it's always looking to happen when it's in play. So first friendly unit deployed each turn costs 1 less supply. Disintegrate's great, but it's much better later. Mass transfer is good, so I'm going to hold on to that as well, and we'll get rid of that. Ooh, and we get the Overseer from the beginning. That's awesome. Okay, so let's take a look here at what we have. So the first thing is we're playing against a player with 25 health when we have 30. So they have 25 cards in their deck, 5 in their hand, plus the 20. You'll see that they have 6 in their hand across the top because the second player always gets an initiative card. Very much like the coin in Hearthstone, it's going to give you 1 supply. So this says he can spend 2 supply, and he can deploy at random a 0-2 bodyguard, a 1-1 contractor, or a 0-1 dealer, which is really cool. For 4, he can give a target friendly unit loses 1 attack, and your commander gains 1 attack until the end of the turn. And then for 6, Incursion gives a target friendly unit the text, deal 2 damage to the enemy commander at the end of an enemy turn and remove this effect. So that's pretty crazy. The more units I bring out, the more he's probably going to be doing that. So this is our health, and you'll see this little like circle with the black. That's your energy, which is what you're going to use to power these modules as well. So I don't really have anything to play, so I'm just going to go ahead and click this little button here, which slides it over to my opponent, and it'll be his turn. Now, again, you'll notice I said that my modules were empty, and my third module was empty, and because of that, the fusion reactor gets put in, so I gain 1 energy at the end of my turn. If I left 2 blank, I would get 2 fusion reactors, and I would get 2 energy at the end of every turn, which is really, really cool. All right, I could deal 2 health to that, and then restore 2 health to my commander. I could also deal 2 damage to a random enemy unit with my Gargoyle Bomber, and I think that's the better choice. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this out. It'll do 2 damage to his one and only random unit. And you'll see I'm already gaining energy because I'm taking actions, which is really, really cool. You get energy for deploying, you get energy for attacking, you get energy for dealing damage, all that type of stuff. All right, let's see what happens here. So my guy just took damage, which is not very good. So we could go ahead and use him to attack in, and I think that's the best thing to do. Go ahead and get rid of his guy there. All right, next up, we're going to bring out the mining complex.
Got everyone working overtime.
And you'll hear maybe in the background everyone has a different voice command, which is really, really cool. This is a tactic that says target unit gains, draw a card when the unit is restored. Not so worried about that just yet, but I do have some really nice combos coming up here, so we'll see what happens. So I'm already up to 7 energy, which is awesome. Okay, that's not good. So he has a 3-3 with Assault. Assault shows that you may attack twice per turn with that. That's really dangerous. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I'm going to bring out the Overseer right now. Now, you know what? I'm going to bring out the Veteran Legionnaire. Now, see, that's the dangerous part. So if I don't get rid of this guy, he's going to attack twice. The better thing to do is to bring out the Overseer. So even if he attacks once with him, he's going to die, which is not very good. I cannot attack with this character, the mining complex, because I have a 0-4 and he doesn't have any attacks, so I can't attack with him. So we're going to have to leave it at that and pass it back over and see what he does. So now he's got Assault, so he could go into my head for 6 points, or he could try to attack the Overseer. Oh, yeah, or just totally forgot he could attack the 0-4 as well. He didn't kill it. That's interesting. Oh, he had a tactic. Okay, so see, this is one of the nice things. You have these things over here that you can see what the history was, just like Hearthstone does with what's going on, right? So you can see all the different things that have happened and what goes on with the different damages and stuff. All right, so I really don't like that thing at all. So here's what I'm going to do. Draw a card when a unit is restored. I'm going to put that on here. And because of the Overseer's ability, he restores himself to max health at the end of the turn. He's always going to be restoring himself. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this guy. Puts him down to 2 health, but that's okay. He's going to restore back to 6. I'm going to draw some cards, which is really, really good. I probably should have played this first, the Veteran Legionnaire. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I'll heal myself. No, I only have 1 supply. I don't have enough. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that. He will go ahead and heal up, and then I will draw a card off of that. So you can start to see where the combos start to come in. And you can start to see where these are going to start to make some really important sense here in a second. So I'm going to immediately start off by using my compression algorithm, and I'm going to use my 8 power to put this guy back into his hand. Then I am going to play an Infiltrator. Mobile means that he can attack the turn he comes in, and Disable means that he makes that sure that somebody else can't attack. So I'm going to bring him in, and I'm actually just going to attack this guy. No worries. I'm going to attack this guy. Again, no worries. And then I'm going to bring this guy out.
Everyone working overtime.
This guy keeps getting attacked every time I play a card. So I'm going to go into his face there. And that'll end my turn. This guy will again heal back to full, and I'll draw a card. And this is kind of the whole combo of this deck and what it's designed to do. So it's moving really well, which is really nice. That's why I only went with 30 cards. I didn't want it to be a really heavy deck. I wanted to make sure we got to those combos really, really quickly. Okay, so 2 and 2. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get rid of him. We'll go ahead and get rid of him. We will go ahead and play a card, which gives all of my other guys +1 attack, which is really nice. Go ahead and attack with him. And we will heal all the way back up again over here, which is really, really nice combo. Gets 5 health. Very, very fun. activate, draw a card with his Nymph Gunship. Snipers. Snipers can really hurt after a while. Snipers have a really interesting thing. So you'll see it says activate, deal 1 damage. So when it comes into play, deals 1 damage. And then it says energize 6, then return this unit to your hand. So if he had 6 energy, he could play it, deal 1 damage, immediately return it to his hand, play another 2 supply, and immediately deal another damage, which is a pretty smart idea. I like it. I'm not going to do that though. I have 1 here. I'm going to go ahead and deal 1 and deal 1 right here. And then, let's see, I'll go ahead and actually bring this guy out and disable this target unit. So that disables him, so I don't have to worry about him attacking me next turn. I will deal 2 damage to him and return 2 health to my commander. I will deal 2 health damage to him, return 2 health to my commander, and then I will attack him and win the game. So that moved extremely well, and of course it was against an AI and not against the computer, but it gives you an idea of how the game moves. I really, really like Star Crusade. I'm very, very happy with it. I think that if you took the time to check it out, you'd find that it is very similar and very familiar to Hearthstone, but it's going to give you a different experience and really give you some level of customization that Hearthstone doesn't give you. Again, really, really happy. Can't say enough good things about it in terms of, is it familiar? Yes, but is it new and different? I agree, and I think it is. So, that's Star Crusade. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment below. Of course, you can chime in all over the interwebs. We are on Facebook and Twitter by searching Crits Happen. We are on critshappen.com or at youtube.com/critshappen. We will be at Essen. I will be there. So if you're going to Essen, feel free to stop by the Passport Game Studios booth, and I will say hi to you. And if not, I will hopefully see you at BGG Con back in the States. Thanks so much for watching. Keep rolling those dice, and we hope they're all crits.